Hey guys, welcome back to rhrjen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, I have such a good show for you today. Meghan's at it again. You know how every couple months she has to threaten everyone with putting out a memoir? Well, she's at it again. But I want to talk about this one. I want to go through this and read this article and talk about what might be happening, what it could mean, that sort of thing. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, and leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. I sincerely appreciate it. Let's jump right on in. So every day in the lead up to Valentine's Day, I'm wearing either red or pink, hence this. And my name is Jen is late for a very important date because my favorite book is Alice Through the Looking Glass. Love Alice in Wonderland. And also, my video is a little bit late. Sorry about that. I tried to get it up a little bit earlier today. I just couldn't get it together, but I'm here now. I'm ready to do this. So let's see what Meghan's up to, shall we? Starting with this. Radar Online is reporting Meghan Markle gagging, knock it off, to unleash a tell-all memoir, but Prince Harry blocking it with all his might. Does that guy have any of that stuff? Does he have any might? Here's all my might. Anyway, blocking it with all his might as he battles for royal reunion. I find this headline so cringe and so much I want to talk about. The idea that Meghan, again, she puts out every few months something. I believe it's her putting this out behind the scenes just to threaten everybody with a little, I could release a tell-all anytime I want to, because that's what bullies do. They remind everyone, I'm going to steal your lunch money anytime I want. I'm going to try to release a memoir anytime I want. Okay. And then this Harry's trying to reconcile BS. No way. No way. I don't believe that either. All right, let's talk about this. I'm going to hit some highlights and lowlights of this article. I'm going to tell you more of my thoughts. But Meghan is said to be desperate to put out a tell-all memoir. But sources have told Radar Online that Prince Harry is blocking it with all his might. Again, with all his might. How much might does that dude have? Amid his efforts to repair ties with the royal family. Since when? Since when does he want to repair ties? I'm sorry. He sat right next to her when she did the mock curtsy, and he's been right by her through every crazy thing she's done, and he put out Spare. So sometimes, as I always say, I don't think it should be just her getting blamed. I think he's just as bad, sometimes worse than she is. So no. I don't believe that for a second. But they're saying that Meghan has repeatedly been approached by publishers. This is why I think it's Meghan doing this. Even in fluff pieces like this, she has to put out, I'm very busy and important. What was that from? Anchorman, I think. I'm very popular. My apartment smells of leather-bound books and rich mahogany. Okay, sure it does. I'm kind of a big deal. But she's been approached by publishers offering multi-million-dollar advances for a book that would tell her side of the story following her and her husband Harry's departure from royal duties in 2020. Let me know in the comments if you think people are actually approaching her with a tell-all. I'm not saying it'd be good or true or anything like that. I'm just curious to know if you think that that's even, if there's even any interest in that. Let me know. Meghan Markle sees memoir as reclaiming her story. I'm sorry. Do we have like 4 hours to go over how ridiculous that is? Whose story would it be? You're the only one claiming most of the crap that you're claiming, aka making it up, in my opinion. So who else's story would it be? And you tell it every 4 minutes. So with some details change. So what are we talking about? Who else's story would it be? Reclaiming her story. Oh my gosh. Meghan and Harry stepped back, working royals relocated. Okay, we know that. Since then, they've still spoken publicly about their experience in televised interview with Oprah and in Harry's memoir Spare, and every 4 minutes, in anything that they can be invited to, the opening of an envelope, whatever it is, they'll tell their story in a near catastrophic car chase and everything else. Again, behind the scenes, I'm working on a pretty big video with all these different pieces to it. So I'm having to comb back through a lot of their older stuff. And I'm just like re-hit in the face with it, with how awful they truly are. It's not that I ever forget, but when I'm faced with it again like this and pulling all this together, it's like, oh my God. and then thinking, oh, yeah, they only told their story a couple of times. No, they tell it every 4 seconds. Again, with details changed every single time to make themselves seem more victimy. Yes, victimy is a word. Now, insiders claimed a fresh rift has opened behind closed doors. Now, I do keep hearing rumblings of this. Have you seen this? More and more people saying they're in a rift, they're in a feud, talking about Harry and Meghan. I don't doubt that. I just assume they are always. Ever since we found out allegedly about his supposed bachelor pad, I figured, I don't know if that just came out of nowhere. Maybe it did, but it seemed to be a thing because I think their people quickly tried to put out something to, I can't remember, to cover it or something, but I just thought, that didn't seem to come out of nowhere. A source close to the couple said Meghan feels an intense pull to put her own account on record. Oh my God. Again, what are we talking about? She gives speeches for everything, every nonsensical event ever. Who's stopping her? I mean, besides people that don't want to listen to that crap, but you get what I'm saying? Like, there's always some horrible cause somewhere that's trying to invite her for whatever reason, and she finds a reason to speak, or she'll just grab a mic as she's been known to do. So who's stopping her from telling her story? I'm surprised she's not out in front of, like, what is it, like whatever hardware store, you know how the cute kids will be selling like cookies and stuff. Meghan will be out there with a microphone. Did you know the families, the Eastwards and all this stuff? It's just like, no, my God. All right. She believes a memoir would finally allow her to speak without filters. Again, what are we talking about? Because she's had a podcast and couldn't shut up. I mean, you've seen it. She's had the Netflix shows and couldn't shut up. It's just always something. So she's her own worst enemy. I will actually concede that, yeah, I bet there would be I'm not saying there's a demand for her book, but I think there'd be a flash in the pan like there was for Spare, where people would buy her book. Whether I don't think it's her genuine fans, but I think people who are like, what the hell could she have to say? You know, the same people that maybe tuned into her Netflix show, that sort of thing. But so there might be a flash in the pan, but I just don't think there'd be any substance whatsoever. And I think it'd be a lot of contradicting herself or things she said in the past. She'll say it's setting the story straight, but she always gets the details wrong. They both do. And so then when it's in print, what are you going to do? Because it's that whole thing. If you're telling the truth, your story doesn't change. Their stories change constantly. So, all right. Let's see. Insider said from a publishing standpoint, the appetite for a Meghan memoir is enormous, and that only reinforces her sense that now is the moment. She doesn't see it as stirring the pot for the sake of drama. Oh my God, since when? That's all she knows how to do. That's all she's capable of. She sees it as reclaiming her story. Again, I ask you, from who? Nobody is trying to claim. I just hit the microphone. Nobody's trying to claim the story. Nobody's trying to take this story. So whom is she trying to reclaim the story from? Can't answer that, can you, Meg? However, the source stressed that Harry's stance is markedly Markle different. Harry is pushing back with everything he has. Again, I don't think that's much. He genuinely fears that another deeply personal, headline dominating book would undo what little progress has been made behind the scenes. I don't believe that there's any progress made behind the scenes. I think he's a angry little gnat, and he's probably just constantly around the royal family, and they have actual work that has to be done and people to help and all that stuff, and lots of other stuff going on that I'm leaving for now. But so I just don't think that Harry and or Meghan are on their minds whatsoever. I just don't. So what they have to do then is have Meghan put out stories like this that try to drag in the royal family, not that they're paying any attention, just to have her name in the same sentence as the royal family to try to be relevant. That's what I think, honestly. I think she does this every couple months because what else does she have? And so I think she knows that having her name in the same sentence with the royal family gets her a few extra clicks than it would otherwise. So Prince Harry, this blocking it thing, I just don't think he cares. I really do. I really don't. I think Sometimes he probably thinks, "Oh, I should make nice with Pa," but I don't even think he thinks like that. You don't write the things he wrote in Spare and think that you're going to make nice with King Pa or, you know, William or anybody like that. I was just gonna make a joke about William breaking his necklace. That's why I was hesitating, but I don't believe any of it. I really don't. But going back to Meghan, she's dying to reclaim her narrative. It's just, what is she gonna talk about? Her wedding drama again? Does anybody care? The Oprah fallout? I mean, it's all gonna be, I'm a victim," like her spin. Um, and then Harry, I just don't believe he cares about making up with his family. I don't believe that he thinks about anybody but Meghan and himself. Um, you know, I I think he wants us to think that he's trying to make up with King Charles, but I just don't think he thinks like that. I don't. I'm not at all making excuses for him. He should think about stuff, but he doesn't. And I think the royal family, again, they have their own stuff going on. So I think they've all moved on. Keep calm, carry on. And I don't think that Harry and Meghan are able to do that whatsoever. But again, I go back to it's like a reoccurring threat cycle. So every few months, this rumor pops up like clockwork. Post Spare, there was whispers of her, shall we say, revenge book. Nothing will beat Tom Bower's revenge book, but this nuclear tell-all and leaks and all this stuff. So it feels like a strategic threat. It's headlines, trying to, she thinks they'll explode and they'll keep the focus and spotlight on her, but it never actually happens. So at first it may have worked, but now people are like, okay, just do it then. Nothing's going to happen. You can write whatever you want. We've seen Plastic Man try it. It didn't go well for him. And I don't think it would go well for her either. But again, I think even if it's a flash in the pan because initially it's sold, I just, people would dissect the tea so she'd get a short-lived attention, but then it'd be short-term buzz, but then long-term reality, it fizzles. Spare had a moment, but then paperback sales, from what I recall, I believe they tanked. Everybody talked about how people were leaving it behind on vacation and stuff. There's just nothing new left, I don't believe, because they won't shut up. I just think the bigger picture for the Sussex brand post 2020, this freedom thing hasn't worked out so well for them. They've tried everything and it just keeps failing over and over because they're awful and they can't read a room and they have no idea about anything. So they can't relate to people. They don't know they don't know anything. They can't stop. I just think they're condescending to everybody. I really do. So so their 4 fans will buy it, but then what? What do you do? It's there in writing. What do you do? What are you going to threaten people with next? Another tell-all? Like, how's that going to go? If it ever drops, it'd be messy, but not in a fun way, right? I don't think it'd be anything. It'd be just bashing for the sake of bashing, I think. And again, like, so what? We've seen it out of the two of them. It's nothing new. So that's my thoughts, but you can let me know in the comments below if you disagree or if you think it would go in that way or what. The rest of the article is just, if Meghan, let's see. Oh, people are prepared to pay handsomely. I don't believe that. If she'll deal with it in time. This is the part where you can let me know in the comments. Do you think she's able to read the room at all, to see that? Is she capable of seeing that it would be a big fat failure? Or do you really think, I wonder because, again, I don't diagnose people. I don't pretend to understand narcissism fully, but if she's a narcissist, like I suspect, then does she just think everything she does is great? And it's everybody else's fault. That's what I suspect, that everybody else's fault, that everything she touches fails. Same thing with her clothes, I guess. I don't know. All right, that's going to do it for me. I really do need you to chime in the comments and let me know what you think. Is Harry actually I just get so annoying. Trying to make nice with family. I don't believe it. Do you think do you think she will release a memoir? I do believe she will. I think she's got to reach the lowest rung of desperation. And I don't know if she's done that yet. For most people, I would say, yeah, definitely she's done that. But for her, I think she could go lower. We'll see. What'll be interesting that I keep thinking about is, like there's always three stories to everything, because she tries to go back and re-explain things. So it ends up being just a big hodgepodge, and like you'll get three versions of the same stories each time. And so how would that work in writing? Because like we saw on like the Meghan and Harry Netflix show, I go back again, this is a sensitive subject, so if it's not your thing, skip this part. But like the miscarriage thing, if you believe she had one, if you believe she didn't, I don't go into medical stuff, so I'll let you decide on that. But even if you believed it happened, it's weird that there's three versions of that story out there, right? Like that shouldn't be a thing. And so, I mean, that's just one of a million examples. There's always several versions of every story, because I believe what happens is they lie, and then they lie to cover up the lie, and then they lie to cover up the lie to cover up the lie, and then they put out stories through like People Magazine and everything else. So how do you keep track of all that crap? You don't. You end up like Harry and Meghan. So how in the world would you put that in a book? I don't know. All right. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you're in reds or pinks. If you're planning to celebrate on Saturday, let me know. I'm sure Harry and Meghan will be doing stuff over the weekend. I am working hard behind the scenes on this big video, this compilation thing that I'm putting together. So look for that hopefully soon, maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have time to get it all done. We'll see. If not, then next week that'll be coming. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. If you want to further support the show, there's several ways to do it. Check out my Amazon links. If you want to know where I got my lipstick, my hair stuff like that, you can find it there. My Luke, you can find it there on Amazon on the links. I try to put those in the comments below, so look for that. If you want to further support the show, check out the merch. We've got Everything's Fine, Make It Make Sense, Team Catherine, and so much more. And of course, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. Yes, it's my old name. Tons of new stuff, tons of bonus materials every couple of days. 3 times a week, I put up new stuff, whereas most creators just do once a week. So you get lots of stuff for your support over there. So check that out, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. Thank you to everybody who supports me. That's going to do it for me. And I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Everybody take care of yourselves, and happy almost Valentine's Day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi, how are you guys? What's going on? Yeah, so I'm red today. Let me show you. Isn't it cute? It's like a sweater. I just think it's cute. It's like a high neck sweater. It's one that I'd worn, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I just thought it was cute. So I'm trying to dust out anything red, bring out anything red or pink for the holidays. So I thought this would be cool. So there's that. But what's going on with you guys? You know what's funny? Sometimes I get comments, hey, you kind of look like Meghan Kelly. And she's gorgeous. I'm not saying I do, but today is the first time I've seen it. I saw it and I thought, oh, I do look a little bit like Meghan Kelly today. It's kind of funny. I'll take it. I take that as a huge compliment. She's gorgeous. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. Let me know in your comments what your thoughts are. Let me know. Oh, I have an eyelash there. Everybody make a wish. Did I win the lottery yet? I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you wish for. How about that? Leave that in the comments below what you wish for. All right, that's going to do it for me. Have the best day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.